Back in 2021, the federal court ruled that the outsourcing of the ground staff jobs was unlawful under the Fair Work Act. We could do a whole show on whether that initial ruling is right, is fair, is good economics and good for Australians more broadly. Should businesses have the right to hire and fire people, or do we owe workers a job? But that's a secondary issue for today. It's not what we're primarily focusing on today. Today, we're assuming that the centre left-wing view of industrial relations is correct, that workers can't be fired purely for business reasons, and that in Australia, businesses do have an obligation to staff, to keep them employed and pay them out very well if they're laid off. What we're mainly focusing on today is beyond all that. After that ruling in 2021, Qantas appealed to the High Court. They lost that appeal in 2023. And this week's ruling was to determine the penalty that they'd have to pay for their sins. And everyone knew it was going to be a record breaker.
$90 million fine. It's broken in two. $50 million will go straight to the union for leading this case. The judge, Justice Lee, saying that he wanted to send a message to corporate Australia. That gives this union a massive slush fund now, a massive fighting fund to take on other industrial relations causes. The lawyer for the union saying that this was a calculated and carefully calibrated union-busting opposition. It is one of the biggest wins for the unions in this country, not just for the aviation sector, Tash, but for unions across every sector.
That's how Channel 7's Chris Reason reported it outside the court on Monday. So a whopping $90 million fine, the biggest ever, and $50 million of that has got to be paid directly. It's been ordered by the judge. Michael Lee's in the news a lot, that judge. Ordered to be paid directly to the Transport Workers Union. The fine's not being paid to the government, as is usual practice in such cases, so that we all benefit communally from the money. Instead, the TWU will pocket a cool $50 million, and how the remaining $40 million will be allocated will be resolved at another hearing that's going to happen later this month, probably next week or later. The TWU won't be giving the money to the sacked workers, by the way. It won't be giving it to its own members as a fee rebate or anything like that. They're reported as saying that they intend to use the funds to, quote, further campaign for worker safety and conditions. Now, that's code for we're keeping it, right? Now, I need to be totally clear. There is nothing illegal in that. The question is only whether it's fair or whether it's moral or it's a good precedent for Australia.
That was a clip from The Other Side. Check us out, othersidetv.com.au.